For today's video, I'll speak about the Geelong versus St Kilda game that happened tonight at Marvel Stadium. So, pretty bad game. I think feel like both teams lost in the sense that the Saints blew it in front of goal and they fumbled the game the whole game. I can't believe I just sat on the couch for 3 hours and I've never seen so many skill errors in my life since the North and Hawthorn game. And then Geelong, the Saints kicked themselves out of the game and they didn't play very well, but they got up. So they'd be feeling not too great, but they got the win, so that's fine. So a few things to discuss on both sides. So I think we'll start with the rookies for St Kilda. So there's Highmore and Burns. So neither player did themselves any favours and both were pretty poor in the second half. So we'll start off with Highmore. First half had a nice intercept, did a few good things at ground level, did a few good things defensively. Second half was missing, so I saw him get one or two spoils in the second half. That was pretty much it. Can't remember much else. So if you brought him in, I think people asked me, do I bring in Highmore? And I said, I have no idea. I think the proper answer would have been, he needs to perform to hold his spot, like most rookies really, but he didn't do himself much favours. So this is a problem because I'm hoping to keep him through the buys. At least he's made some money, but not sure I want to field him. I have him as emergency, so I'll be fielding butts over him. But yeah, I'm not sure he holds his spot, especially with Caulfield in the VFL. That's really concerning. And I think Joyce was out, so they gave Joyce a bit of a run, so maybe they give Highmore a run now. But Caulfield being dropped was pretty surprising, so not feeling super great. Hopefully he plays next week and plays really well. I think if not, not looking great for future weeks. So yeah, probably didn't do enough, but we'll see what they say in their coaches' review, stuff like that. And Burns, didn't notice him much in the first half. He copped a bit of a knock, so he was on the bench for a long time. But saw him a bit on the wing, a bit of an outside type. So a bit at halfback, bit on a wing. Didn't really do anything great, just a bit of uncontested stuff. So if you got him in, you'd be feeling not great. But yeah, I think don't know if he holds his spot. I know they got a few injuries, the Saints. So again, with Highmore, it's very much performance dependent with him, I think. So yeah, neither were great. Hopefully they play again next week. And the premiums, so Steele. So just quickly, also, if you're wondering why players got scaled so much, it's because the people counting at champion data must have lost track of where they were at or something. So basically, some players weren't being given points and some were. So that's why there was 800 points of scaling left. So that's why Steele got scaled, 60 points. Steele was good. So I think the main question here, my view was he was good. He tackled a lot. Contested ball was good. Took a few marks here and there. So I thought his game was okay. It seems to have a few clangers from clearance kicks. So like a lot of blind 30-metre kicks that go to the opposition. So that kind of kills his score a little bit. And gave away another 50. So 3 50s out of 4 weeks. I'm definitely not counting or anything. But a bit annoying. But do you want to get him in for 570k? I endorse it. I think I started him for 650. It's a failed starting pick given how much he's dropped, a bit like Jake Lloyd. But he's been fine. He's going to be around. There's no way he's not top 10 in my opinion. I think he'll be 6th or 7th probably. But doing really well in Dream Team. Not as great in Supecoach. So if it doesn't completely stuff up your buys, which it actually might, because it's a really difficult buy around that one, the last one. I endorse this pick, 570k. Why not? So, I'm expecting 115 plus from him for the rest of the year. Maybe a tiny bit lower, but definitely upside to be a bit more. But yeah, just keeps giving away those 50s, so it's probably lost like 30 points over the past month, but that's whatever. And Rowan Marshall's gone as a pick. I wouldn't even dream about him. Maybe in the last few rounds, if he's put together a good block, maybe a month. But this is his 3rd or 4th hiccup. Unfortunately, this pick is done. And it's the same injury. He said he felt tingling in his foot. So really disappointed for Rowan because he was a star for us 2 years ago in Supecoach, and then he was really good last year. Just he was only ruck only. Forget Marshall. Forget Butters. He's injured as well. There's just a whole bunch of forwards that are just unavailable right now. So in a bit of a weird spot with the forward line, but we've lost another for sure. And now Geelong. So Guthrie is probably super premium, I think, and is he one you want to use one of your mid slots on? I definitely think so. I think he's one I'll look at next week between him and Lyons and Bont. I have to pick two, and I really don't know. I think I want Bont, but I got to pick between those two. But with Guthrie, he gets involved everywhere. Off halfback, cheap ball, through in the contest, a lot of 1-2s tonight. Kicked a goal as well. Good at clearance. Seems to find space pretty well. And he's actually a really good decision maker. He had one bad turnover in the back half, but apart from that, he doesn't really burn the ball much. So that should keep his score healthy. And has really good composure. So he's one that I think we need to get in. 620k is actually an okay price for what he's doing right now. But it is a pretty heavy upgrade. So especially because, Highmore probably might not make as much money as we hoped. So we'll see how we go for cash gen. But yeah, Guthrie's one definitely we want to get in. Tom Stewart, the other primo, didn't really do a whole lot, I thought, but still scored 98. I think he had a really good third quarter. First half was pretty quiet, but didn't take as many kick-ins as he probably could have. But I think Geelong, Stewart always scores well, but they have a few, like Tui and Henderson actually, and even blitz halves at times as well. A lot of they can score a fair few points. They can all intercept. They can all rebound. So there's a little bit of point sharing there, but Stewart's still the main one, so completely fine pick. And he's one that I want to get in at some point. He's still a reasonable price. I think he's about $5.50 at the moment, so that's what you pay for him at the start. That's a fine price. Mitch Duncan, he was massive seagull. So he had the seagull icon on fan footy, and his game was very outside-ish. So I don't know, he's scoring well, but I think with Mitch Duncan, his back half to last year, plus the injury that he had, plus his age, he's not super old, but still, I think, 30, 31? We prefer players in better age brackets, for me personally. So I think he's, not for me, based on the back half of last year mostly, but and definitely prefer more inside types. So no to Duncan for me, but if you have him, it's fine. He's doing very well, really well, in fact. So, and then Tom Atkins, if you brought him in, pretty harsh. I think I'm not sure he's a keeper, and if he is, he's probably not a very good one. So he's one where I'll probably have to keep, and he's a luxury upgrade. Maybe I can sideways him to Dusty in the back half of the year. But yeah, a bit of a problem. This pick is 23 disposals. His numbers were okay tonight. He just doesn't get involved a whole lot. And that's he said on a podcast with Cameron Ling, sometimes I'll be winning the ball and rebounding and attacking, and sometimes I'll be more defensive. So week to week that might change. I think he was probably more defensive tonight, even though he had 23 touches. A lot of one-on-one spoils and stuff like that from him. So not great, but the only good thing about, not necessarily a good thing, but this makes it less painful owning him, which it's not a bad thing to own him given what I paid for him. But if he's a keeper, you look at all the other forwards, they're not doing much else either. So in that regard, it's not too bad. And then we'll touch on Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins. So I don't have the patience or discipline for key forward picks. If you do, that's fine, because there's quite a few of them in the top 15, I think, at the moment. I wouldn't do it. If they're the right price, say sub 350, you could with the back half of the year. However, I don't recommend it, and I don't want to sit through key forwards. So, and then it might be Jezza that plays really well, it might be Hawkins that plays really well, and I'm not sure Geelong, are they actually that good? They should have lost to the Saints tonight. The Saints missed 20 shots in front of goal, and they beat up on Richmond. And let's be real, Richmond have no midfield. They have They would have had 4 starting midfielders out. So maybe they are good. I'm not sure, but they haven't really. Have they done it against really strong opposition yet? Can't really remember, but you want them to be. They're not going to be. I don't think they'll get as many wins as last year, where Tom Hawkins was really good, for example. So look, especially Jezza. Jezza's just come off an injury, so Tom Hawk may be at the right price, but not Jezza for me. But anyway, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you guys soon.